Hello, liberal Tourette pill. They're screaming, they're screaming, they're screaming. They're all screaming for abortion.
You just feel like fucking screaming? Let's just scream!
Stop touching me! Shut the fuck up, back and fat ass. Don't you fucking touch me, bitch! You fat fucking bitch!
You're a white girl, you don't know shit! Fascism has got to go! Hey! Oh!
Look at how many people hate you right now!
Your mother should have aborted you.
Your shirt says hug life.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's what your mother should have done around your neck when you were born.
This is...
She should have hugged the life out of you.
So the Supreme Court is possibly going to strike down Roe versus Wade, and the lunatic lefties are freaking out. Well, of course they are. It's what they do best. Scream, shout, break, burn, loot, murder.
You got the message, motherfucker, right? You got the fucking message.
Leave her alone! Leave her alone! Stop! Leave her alone!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
You're killing women! Watch these people!
Yeah, that bad behavior is not going to get my vote.
Get the fuck out of here! Go! Fuck you! Get the fuck out of here! Go!
So what does Roe versus Wade have to do with me as a gay man with no need for reproductive choice? Well, actually nothing. I honestly don't have a dog in this fight, except the Democrats have gone a hop, skip, and a jump from women losing their right to choice to their coming for gay marriage and the rights of LGBTQ, EIEIO, oh, MacDonald had a freaking farm. So now they are making it my business. Here's Chicago's lesbian mayor, Lori Lightfoot, going on about justice, 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 except, of course, for unborn life.
To reproductive justice, and I want to emphasize justice, to ensure equitable access that eliminates barriers with deep racist roots.
And of course, she just had to play her constant chord, the race card and the gay card. Then lunatic Lori includes women's rights, then trans rights because men get pregnant apparently, immigrant rights because why can't non-citizens have citizens pay for their reproductive rights, and finally gay marriage and the race card once again.
This includes women's rights, trans rights, immigrant rights, and of course, the right to same-sex and interracial marriage.
So what would my choice be if it did concern me? I'm pro-choice. I'm not pro-abortion. I would choose life every time. I just don't want to see women forced into back-alley abortions once again. And it is not just my body, my choice. There are two or more bodies to consider here. And you are making a life choice for the most vulnerable. It's so interesting that the my body, my choice folks have no problem forcing upon us an unproven COVID vaccination and mask mandates without choice. So what happened to the right of our bodies and our choices? And let's not bring up the nonsense debate about when does life start, when you can create life in a petri dish in a laboratory. Life starts at conception when semen and the egg join. And quite frankly, everyone is so fatigued by both the lunatic left and the so-called far right. You are both as bad as each other, except the right side isn't advocating for infanticide. The religious right have brought their chosen God into the mix and believe that all life was created by an inert, invisible, impossible spirit living in the sky. We have seen the so-called right push for the resuscitation of a stillborn because it's their God's precious gift. Well, no, actually, it's Mama Nature's way of indicating that the pregnancy isn't viable. Now, isn't that miraculous? The lunatic left are confusing reproductive rights with contraceptive choice. Termination is not a contraceptive choice. If your lovemaking can naturally create human life, don't you think it's your responsibility to not create unwanted life? And here's the problem that the Democrats have, along with lunatic screaming memes, that is. They have no idea what is a woman. So how do you campaign for women's reproductive rights if you can't define womanhood?
It's like, what is a woman?
Well,
Can you tell me what a woman is?
no, I can't.
Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people
That
who...
describes what?
Legislation to codify a woman's right to seek.
The rights of women to make decisions.
Women have
A woman's right to
the Women's Health Protection Act.
Now we have a possible usurper, United States president, who made it his priority to nominate for the Supreme Court of the USA a black woman. The trouble is that woman can't define what is a woman. So what are her qualifications again as a woman?
That person will be the first black woman.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
The liberals have gone from decades supporting women's rights and liberties to now saying that anyone can be a woman simply by saying so. So what makes a confused man a woman? Donning the trappings of modern womanhood, frocks and high heels, bad haircuts and vulgar makeup, emotionalism over stoicism. Womanhood is not a costume that you can wear when it's convenient. This is how predatory, failed heterosexual men are gaining access to girls' and women's spaces where girls and women are their most vulnerable, where they are undressing. Now, we have so-called women, Rachel Levine, who was a biological man, nominated as Woman of the Year. So misogyny won.
Women are often the creators of change. In terms of the changes that we see in our society and our culture, I think that women are those change makers.
Admiral Rachel Levine is a groundbreaking leader, public health champion, and an advocate.
She looked like a man. Yeah, okay, she looked like a man. She looked like a man. Now this man, she looked like a man.
Liberals, what happened to women's liberation? The Democrats actually believe that men can get pregnant. Men without a uterus, men without a cervix, men without ovaries. This is simply feelings over facts, emotions over endocrine. Maybe that's why Planned Parenthood is handing out testosterone like candy to a client base which is entirely biological women. But I can tell you why Planned Parenthood clinics are giving out quick prescriptions of testosterone to the so-called butch lesbians and diesel dykes. It's called gay erasure, the cancelling of homosexuality for the new ideological darling, gender dysphoria. They are pushing for homosexuals to believe that their sexuality is a myth. They are really just born in the wrong body, something that the gendered identity folks believe that they can easily rectify by making lesbians and gay men lifelong medical patients and lifelong clients of Big Pharma through drugs and destructive surgeries. This is being pushed especially at young lesbians and young gay men. A perfect way to ensure there are no future homos, just the gender confused. You only need to look at generic LGB dating sites to see a long list of fantasy genders and fake sexuality choices where they have conveniently excluded lesbians, gay men, and bisexuals. Apparently, LGB no longer exists. We are no longer fashionable. How can anyone take you weak, woke folks seriously? I know this is insane. You know that this is insane. The Democrats have painted themselves into an ideological corner. On the one hand, supporting the special rights of the gender confused, who believe that just by saying so, they are another sex. And on the other hand, advocating for reproductive rights for biological women. You can't have it both ways. You're either a woman with reproductive rights or a confused man with zero. The woke pro-abortion folks have turned off red pill liberals like me who are pro-choice by endlessly pushing the boundaries of termination to be as enticing as, well, a dessert tray at a fancy restaurant. Here's a perfect example. The Bulgarian so-called comedian Michelle Wolf, with her slaughtered piglet voice, screeching, 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 celebrate abortion.
Abortion, I salute you! Women, if you need an abortion, get one! If you want an abortion, get one! If you're not pregnant but you think you eventually might be and want to order a future
Now the Democrats wrongly think they have an avenue to election victory in November because those horrible Republicans have stabbed at the heart of a cause near and dear to everyone. Yeah, not so fast. To quote a line from the Democrats' most disappointing center-right President Bill Clinton, it's the economy, stupid. Every time Americans go gas up their cars, go grocery shopping, and see everyday commodities with large price hikes, endure 9% inflation, see the rents go sky high, find it impossible to buy an affordable home, they are not thinking about your irresponsible lovemaking. You, pro-choice, aka pro-abortion as a contraceptive alternative, did this to yourselves. Defeat Roe versus Wade. You only have yourselves to blame. Thankfully, the tide is turning against the weakness of woke, and I, for one, am so looking forward to the return of center sanity, where a biological man is defined as an adult human male, where a biological woman is defined as an adult human female, where kids are left to be kids, where lesbians, gay men, and bisexuals are no longer your ideological pawns, where the minuscule percentile of mentally ill, gender confused can get the therapy that they desperately need. Thank you for watching.